put this up last night because, you know, we back in our word, right? And I know a few people personally who are dealing with some things, and they're very, very, they're tough. They're heavy burdens. But I was looking at the fact of, and when I go through these Bible journeys or whatever, I begin to talk to a lot of people, because, you know, you are what you consume, and you are what you see, and you are what you hear, and all that. It bleeds down into you, and it bleeds out of you. But I realize a lot of people, and ain't no shame in this, because this just, you know, it is what it is. The world got us so busy that a lot of us, we don't go to church. And church ain't even, let's throw that out the window. Get your Bible and read it as best you can. And they make the Bible in all different varieties now. You can get just a New Living Testament, the translation is like we speak now, so you don't have to, you know, a lot of people say, I don't understand the thee and thou and without there, and I feel that, I get that, but that's the one that I prefer to read or whatever. But you build your connection with God yourself, man. If it ain't nothing but 5 minutes a day, just start reading a little bit of it, talking to him 4-5 minutes a day, man. It will change your life. But back to the situation I was talking about with people going through things, heavy things that we don't understand, because I'm a good person and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm doing my best that I can do, and it seems like I just keep getting hit with problem after problem after problem. Jacob, and I think it was Leah, they had a kid. They had a lot of kids, but the kid I'm thinking about is Joseph. Joseph was one of the younger kids, but he was favored by his dad. God was over his life. Like, from some people, God just with them. No matter where, he just with them, in them from young age. You try to run from him, run around, he's still with you. But Joseph had a dream, and he told his brothers. Now, he the younger brother. He told his brothers about his dream, and in his dream, basically God was telling him he was gonna be over his brothers. And he, being young and you excited, you get something like that from God, what you do? You go tell somebody. So he told his brother. But we gotta be, that's why we need to think and meditate about what we say and who we saying it to, even sometimes if it's your family members or your friends. And shout out to one of my friends who just brought that back up to me yesterday. Because everybody ain't happy for you and everybody ain't great for you. That's just the way the world been being before us, this biblical time, thousands of years ago. He told his brothers started hating on him. You think, well, you gonna be over us? You younger than us, you ain't finna be over us. That ain't the way it go. Alright, so he had another dream. Second dream, he over his mother and father. He was over his mother and father. They was bowing down to him, right? So he tell his dad, and his daddy like, boy, you tripping? What done got into you? You know, like our generation say, you smelling yourself, ain't it? Cause you ain't finna run my house. You know how we are. You ain't finna run my house. The day you feel like you can run my house, you need to get up out of here. So when that second dream occurred, but the dad didn't tell him get up out of here. I'm just saying that in modern day time. The dad was just like, you tripping. You tripping real bad. You ain't gonna be over me. I ain't bowing down to you. You my seed. So the brothers are jealous of him, right? So they devise a plan. They out working, and the dad is sending him out to find the brothers, something like this. And he go out, and the brothers are so jealous-hearted of him. These his brothers, his biological brothers. They so jealous-hearted of him that they wanted to kill him. But this how God always have. When God, man, when you cover, people will want to do stuff to you, but God gonna always make sure something or somebody is there to protect you. Now that don't mean we ain't gonna go through nothing, because he still had to go through something, but stay with me. So his brother decided, man, we're gonna kill him. We're gonna knock him off. But he had one brother, Reuben. They say, and Reuben really had a good heart. The way I look at it, like Reuben looking like, it's a whole clique of them. I can't go against they plan, because then they can just turn against me, and then both of us will be knocked off. So Reuben said, we ain't gonna kill them. We just gonna throw them in, they threw them in a cave or something like that. And he said the animals will get them. We can't kill him, he our brother. But Reuben did that with the intention. His intentions were good. He intended to come back and get his brother. He just couldn't do it right then. But in the time from them leaving, they took his coat and put blood on it to make his daddy thought he was dead. But in the time of them leaving, some Egyptians, I think they were Egyptians, got him. They got Joseph. So now his journey really just beginning, even though he got a whole life he done had with his parents and his brothers. And he gets sold off into Egypt, right? But in Egypt, he is favored. He worked his way up. He become the king right hand. It went nothing off limits to him besides the king money. And he had access really to his money. He could move how he wanted to move. And his old lady, his wife. Okay? So the king out of town. Joseph up in the king house, got his own room, he kicking it. The king wife decide, I want him. And this is how, y'all please don't take this biblical. Don't take this the wrong way. I really, 98% of my soul believe these people were brown, because history repeats itself. The wife decide, I want him. Hey, look, he out of town. He ain't gonna know nothing. Come see me. He like, what wrong with you? They're my homeboy. We kick it real tough. I ain't finna flip on this dude. I ain't gonna, certain stuff just off limit. She steady shooting at him. She steady shooting at him. So one day, she catch him in his room. She trying to block him. I'm finna take something. If she was a dude, she would have took it. He running. He started running from her. She snatched his coat. She snatched his coat. He don't want her though. So she spiteful. With her being spiteful, she tell the guards, look, he tried to rape me. He tried to rape me. All because he didn't want him. So they throw him in prison. Even in prison, he's favored. The king threw 2 more people in prison. I think it was his baker and somebody else. I can't remember exactly who the other person was. They had some dreams, right? So in the dreams, they needed somebody to interpret them. And I wish that we still had people that was straight from God, that had good intentions, that interpret dreams, because I do think that dreams mean things. So they had a dream. He had a dream in jail. Joseph in jail. So he interpreted them. And he told them, in 3 days, you're going to be free. The king going to come get you. But all I'm saying is, remember me. Keep me in your favor when he come look out on you. Dude like, yeah, okay, bet. Other dream he interpreted, I think it was, he told him in 3 days, your head going to be off. He going to come get you. He going to cut your head off. They both happened. Get what happened? Buddy get free. Just like your friend when they get some money, I'm going to look out on him. But I got one friend that really did look out on me. Shout out to you, because you the real MVP. But you get a little change. Example, you get a little change. I'm going to look out on you. I'm going to look out on you. They leave. You don't never hear from them again. Even though they been told you, I'm going to pull you up. You might have been invested into their business or whatever it is. But they get where they going and they, boom, they dip out on you. That's what old buddy that the king took back into under his wing did. He forgot about Joseph. So time passed and the king had a dream, right? The Pharaoh, I'm calling him the king. The Pharaoh had a dream. He needed an interpreter. So that's when Joseph fell back on old buddy's mind. Hey, I know where you can get a grade A when he in jail though. So Pharaoh sent down there, get Joseph. Joseph tell him what the dream mean. Hey, we finna eat good for about 7 years. About 7 years, hey, we own it. We getting money over here. But in the net, we need to save. We can't blow this money. This ain't BML. We ain't blowing money fast over here. Ain't no meat. We gotta save it. We gotta put back some. So the king listened to him. The king listened to him. And he actually put Joseph back in charge of everything. He running everything. He back the right hand. He gave him a wife. Because I don't know. I'm a little king. The Pharaoh kind of like, I don't know if I really can trust you with that all later stuff. So I'm going to give you your own wife. He gave him a wife. And made him back his right hand. Joseph, that dude, right? He running everything. Man, they set up shop. So boom, them 7 years passed, right? 7 years gone. Now We in a drought. We in a drought. Ain't no more dope on the street. It's gone. Ain't no more foods in the grocery stores. It's over with. But guess who got it? Pharaoh and them got it. Pharaoh and them got it. Because God sent us messages. It's just going to be up to us whether we got somebody to interpret it and whether we take heed to it. So Joseph didn't prepare them for what was coming. They didn't put up. So now everybody hungry. Ain't no food. But because we put back, we got it. Man, people selling, they signing over their land, they signing over their cattle, they signing over their houses. Why? Because they need to eat. The only people they didn't capitalize on, that's capitalism, y'all. It's still going on now. The only people they did not capitalize on was the church. They ain't make the church get them land out there because this I interpreted from God. We're going to feed them. So, boom. This is where you going through your storm come into play. Because had Joseph not got hated on by his brother, had his brothers not got in cahoots to kill him, had the one brother not looked out and said, we're going to put him in the cave, he would never have been put in the position to save everybody. Because what happened was, it was a food drought everywhere, even in surrounding areas. So, his brother and them, they hungry, they ain't got no food. His father and them, they hungry, they ain't got no food. So they got to come over here to Joseph to come see what's going on with the food. We need some food, and we heard y'all got it. Joseph immediately recognized his family. He knew his brothers. And he wasn't even, just being honest, Joseph went mad with him off the top. But you know how it is with them siblings, like, I got a little power, I gotta show you I got a little power. And Joseph recognized them. They didn't recognize Joseph. They didn't know who he was. We over here in Egypt. Joseph didn't even allow them to know that he spoke their mother tongue. He had an interpreter to come in. So they didn't even know that he knew what they were speaking. But he was like a butthole to him, right? But at the end of the day, this is when love and family come in. He gave them the food they needed, and he didn't even allow them to pay for it. He gave them the food they needed, and he gave them their money back. He had a conversation with them and all this stuff. He messed with them a little bit now. I'm skipping a little part. He messed with them a little bit and made them feel like he thought they were like some spies. Like, nah, y'all spies. Y'all over here from a foreign land. And he made them plead with them or whatever. But at the end of it, he ended up sending them off with their food they needed and their money. So when they get home, they realize, oh, Lord, Jesus, he gonna kill us. Because he already was bugging out thinking that we were spies. He really gonna kill us when he realized we got his money. But he did that purposely. And also, before he even allowed them to get food, he made them go back and get his younger brother. Because, you know what, I'm going to say some of it so you can get in the book and read it yourself. You go find out why they had to go get that younger brother. But anyway, second time they come back, they get hungry again, they need food. So they daddy tell them, hey, go back up there, but take the money he sent back with you the first time. And take the money for the food the second time to let him know, you know, we stand up guy. We ain't on no BS. We ain't trying to rob you and nothing like that. We just hungry. We need food. So the second go round, they go back or whatever. That's when he end up, you know, telling them who he is and showing them love and hugging them and, you know, like, just loving on them. Just, he couldn't hold it no more. And his daddy, you know, he told him to go get their daddy or whatever. Well, they told him, they went back home and told their daddy, you know, he alive, he over here or whatever. Daddy, like, I gotta go see my boy. Like, that was one of my favorite kids because he was born from the wife that he really loved. You know, biblical times you had more than one wife, but he was, of course, love is an affection and an emotion. Even in today's time, if you got 3 wives, ain't nobody gonna say it because it's kind of like your kid. Everybody got that little one kid that do a little bit more to help out around the house. And mama, you alright when you feeling bad. And you kind of got a little bit of favoritism. Keep it real, but we all gonna say we ain't got no favorite. I ain't got no favorite. I tell them the same thing. On different days, different kids my favorite. Whoever helping me out the most that day, that's my favorite. But anyway, Pops ended up going back to Egypt, and he saw his son, and he was so happy, and he was able to die in peace. Before he died, he just told his son he's so thankful he alive, and he's just so grateful to God because he got another chance to see one of his favorite kids, and also he got to see his kid. You know, cause Joseph had some sons or whatever, and he gave them their blessing. But that storm that you are weathering, because at some point we are all gonna go through a very, very difficult storm. Stay with it. Don't let it break you. We may bend, we don't break. Because reoccurring over and over in my life, in friends' life, and in this book, the good book that I trust in and I believe in, there is very little to few. I dare to say no people that did not have to go through something that they did not understand. They didn't have no clue why until after they went through it to get to what God had for them. So go through it. But go through it knowing that this is only getting me to the beginning of my story. The pain I'm going through, how I'm feeling, the financial hardships, the envy, the jealousy, is only getting me to the beginning of what God got for me. Alright, y'all. I'm out. We'll get another story tomorrow.